Okay, great. All right, start recording. So essentially, what's going on here? I'll zoom in on it. Is I've built a new lookup table called translation ship via. And
Yep.
what you want to do is in the right hand side of it, you put in the scat code coming from transaction manager. And then
Good.
the right hand side, what's in the ship via drop down in Acumatica. And then when it'll export, it'll send that out. What
Got
it's
it.
going to do is it's going to check this first. Now, if you have some customers that's going to be the same ship via value all the time, there's a default lookup called default ship via. You can just put that static value in there and it'll just go out every time.
Nice.
Go
Okay.
out means that when we export the PO to Acumatica.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep. Now, if they're not sending you a scat code, you can use that default ship via to send out a static value. If there's something on the order that says what ship via to use, we can also build a different lookup table to use that to populate your ship via. But it sounds like in cases where they don't send a SCAC and there's no data point on the 850, the end user is just going to have to click on that ship via drop down, select something.
But we normally don't let a warehouse user go into TrueCommerce and do the selection, right?
No, this is Acumatica where the ship
Oh,
via drop down is. So whoever's processing the order in Acumatica, if there's nothing on the incoming 850 to indicate the ship via information, they'd have to set it manually as part of processing the order.
so users select one of the ship via, and TrueCommerce can translate that ship via in with a SCAC code and put it
No,
into
the
856. Oh,
oh yeah, I can do that. I thought we were talking about sending the purchase order out to Acumatica.
yeah, because in the future the
Mhm.
exporting PO will be scheduled to be like as an automatic process. So
Yeah, reading the
there,
ship via and then assigning a scat code, that's no problem either. Because what we can do is we can use the same table here, and then it'll just read the ship via in Acumatica and then turn to a scat code. Let me actually go ahead and save that.
but most of
This is a global, right? It's a global or
Yep.
for trading partner. A global.
It's going to be global. The lookup table needs to be filled out per trading partner, but it's global otherwise. Yeah. Going here. Build everything else, but that's not a problem. I think that changed both of them. But yeah, so that'll work. It's a global change that'll work across all the trading partners.
so Matt, sorry, would you mind briefly conclude the flow again?
Okay, so that translation ship via lookup table
Mm-hmm.
has two uses. When you're sending the order from Transaction Manager into NetSuite, or not NetSuite, geez, Acumatica, what it'll do is if they're sending you a scat code, if that table's set up, it'll translate the scat code to the ship via value in NetSuite. No, not NetSuite, Acumatica. I've been dealing with NetSuite all day up until this point. So once the sales order is in Acumatica, the ship via would be filled out. Now, it's also going to cut the other way. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have a sales order in Acumatica
Mm-hmm.
and somebody manually set the ship via. If you
Mhm.
fill out the lookup table when you're sending out the 856/ASN, it'll read the ship via, compare it to the lookup table, and then generate the scat code off it.
I see.
Yeah, so it operates as a pivot table.
Cool.
Okay, that makes sense. So can I ask the other question now?
Mhm.
Matt, what's the table should import to? Upload.
Sorry?
What do you
Can
mean?
we,
Yeah.
in the translation, I mean, the lookup table, can we do the lookup table upload or have you to do it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you just go to you just want to build a common limited CSV file with 2 columns.
Hmm?
And then you go into the lookup table inside Transaction Manager. There's an
Okay.
import button at the top. You click on that. You say file does not have headers on the little pop-up that comes up, and they'll just load the information from the spreadsheet into the table.
Can you show us from which trading partner?
For whatever trading partners you want to use. Yeah, so let me
Can
share.
you share the screen? Yeah, okay, we recorded it.
Yep.
It's easier for us. Yeah.
Yep. So it'd still be recording. So in Transaction Manager,
Right.
you go to Trading Partners,
Yes.
and then
Map.
oh, this isn't your
old one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. It was
Yeah, new one. We scroll down.
troves.
Then we do the translation, right? For example.
So yeah, I'll just click into here as an example. You go into translations, lookups,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and then drop this down, find the translation ship via here. And then
Okay.
once you have your common limited CSV file, you just hit import.
Mm-hmm.
And then this won't work, but I'll just say file doesn't have headers, and then it'll bring in the 2 columns, which I need to clear this out because that's all
Okay, so left will
not
be
data you
the
need.
ship by. Okay, got it.
Yeah, left is the best way to think of these tables is the left-hand side is always Acumatica information, and the
Mhm.
right-hand side is always True Commerce information.
Okay, so by default, if the scat code is in the PO, then we don't do anything, right?
No, if scat codes in the yeah. Well, you still need to fill this out. If scat codes in the PO,
Okay.
because this is what's going to take the scat code and then translate it to the ship via value inside of Acumatica.
Okay. So we always, but if not, if we don't have a scat code in the PO, so you just do nothing, right?
Well, if you don't have the scat code in the PO, you still want to fill this out because what that'll do is when somebody manually assigns the ship via on the sales order,
Mhm.
it'll read that ship via value compared to this table and then output whatever the scat code is on the right.
Well, what that means? So sales orders is ever created, right? That's in the Acumatica, right?
Correct. But if you create a sales order that doesn't have the scat code on it, when you select that ship via drop down,
okay,
I've set it up so Transaction Manager reads this table when you import as well.
okay,
And
so
then
if
it'll
you go back,
translate that ship via back
Are
to
we
a
back
scat.
to Volo?
if you go back to the True Commerce, he will read it, right? That's the purpose, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it reads it. So it reads from right to left when you send it to Acumatica, and it reads left to right when you send it into Transaction Manager.
That's doing the import of what?
The ASN.
ASN. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Mhm.
Yeah, there's some. It's very rare. A few trading partners want SCACs on invoices, but it's very, very uncommon. If we run into that, I'll set it up to do it for that as well.
Okay. Okay, got it.
And can I ask a quick question here?
Mhm.
Last time I think we discussed about how to handle the cancel date. I just want to double check if the cancel date logic has been implemented. For example, if I open any 850, if we're looking at all the customer will send out 2 dates. One is like you can start shipping after November 13th, and you cannot ship after November 20th. All the customer has 2 dates, but different naming though. So I just want to check I know like the request ship date is being configured to request it on. I believe so. But
Mhm.
the cancel after date, has it been configured to cancel by yet? I think we discussed last time, but I just want to double check has it been
Yeah.
implemented.
Okay. So yeah, there's that cancel date field in Acumatica that it's set to go to.
Cool.
This cancel by field.
Correct.
So has it been configured? Because when we check the date, you see that the cancel, I'm not sure why the cancel day is the day of the sales order create date.
So that probably means it's blank. So this is a case where trading partners are going to send that date in. There's like a couple dozen different fields they could send it in. So when it's not working, I need to know per trading partner who it's not working for so I can go in and make adjustments. So let's see here. So
I think we should check for
cancel.
other.
Yeah. So for Nextcom, date cancel order after isn't on there, but ship no later than is, and I'm willing to bet that's the field we want. So let me go check that.
Hey guys, I got to run. Okay, you don't need me anymore. Mary, you're going to get me the video, this recording, and I'll make
Yep,
sure
I'll
that our
send that
guys get it.
recording over to you guys.
Thank you, Matt. Very, very helpful. And this cancel by date thing is very helpful also. That this is big time information that actually you got to set it up by customer because customers put it in different files all the time, right?
Yeah, because
I-
ADI is a standard that everybody follows.
Right. So
I think in
okay.
Nextcom it shows like ship no later. The
Mhm.
naming is like this.
Yep. Yeah, I
So
just set that up to export to cancel by.
So can you check for all the trading partner? I believe right now all the trading partner are not configured properly.
All right. So that's gonna take a little bit of time to look through. We're
Sure,
about at
yeah,
the end
we
of the
don't need
call,
to
but I'm
do.
happy to. Yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah,
go and do that though.
yeah. So when you finish reviewing them, let me know, and then we
All right.
can test it. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think we are hitting the end of the meeting. So thank you, Matt.
Yep. So yeah, we are at the end here. So yeah, I'll take a look at this. Get the
And
cancel dates to go out, and
also
also
the error message from Akim.
yeah, I think what's
Yeah.
going on there is I need to hit up the
The dev.
developer.
Team?
Yeah, the
Okay.
product manager for Acumatica product. Um, because I
Okay.
think somebody just copied and pasted the wrong thing in the wrong folder.
Okay.
So
Let Akim knows.
yeah,
Okay.
he is located in Canada, but works with
Eastern
developers
time.
in Vietnam a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
so I might not have an answer for you until tomorrow morning, unless he can just fix it off the bat himself without having to talk to a dev.
Okay. Okay, and then I'll probably follow up with you guys that afternoon tomorrow.
All right, sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome, guys. Have a great
Thank
rest of the day.
Yeah, you too. You guys too.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye.